Celebration settles for 4th in the Breeders' Cup Mile. Obviously led him a long way, but eventually had to settle for 3rd. Animal Kingdom gets a rousing ovation off the long layoff, running valiantly to finish 2nd in the Breeders' Cup Mile. Rafael Bejarano in the irons for the first time.
Yeah, because it's coming. It's coming momentarily.
Yeah, I mean, he usually leaves.
A rousing welcome for Breeders' Cup Mile champion Wise Dan, making his case for Horse of the Year.
Returning to the winner's circle is Wise Dan.
Right here.
A 5-year-old chestnut gifted by Charles Lopresti and Danielle by Power. Very good. Trained by Charles Lopresti and ridden by John Velasquez. Wise Dan was bred in Kentucky by his owner.
Well, he's just a super horse, you know. He really is a super horse. Every time I work him, every time I do something with him, he amazes me. And I've tried not to work him too often and too fast. At Saratoga, I realized how fast he really was when we started to work him on the turf. Some of you have seen him work there. And so we don't put a lot of works into him in between races. I mean, sometimes you'll look at the works and maybe they'll look a little spotty and people think, I wonder what's wrong. But he's just a phenomenal horse. And that's why I ran him in the Shadwell. I knew that if I didn't run him in the Shadwell, I would have to work him 2, maybe 3 times, and I knew the kind of works that he was going to turn in. So I thought it better to do that, and it would be easier on him to get him to the spot. I only had 1 work in between.
You're based in Kentucky. You've shipped successfully with this horse and others to Woodbine and New York. Were there any added or extra challenges involved in coming out west with your horse?
No, it really wasn't, because if you look at going to Woodbine, it took us like 12 hours to get there. We were in stall to stall in about 6 hours here. He's just a good shipper. He's a good horse. He's got a real level head. He's just really easy to deal with.
And as wonderful as a Breeders' Cup victory has to be, from a trainer's standpoint, do you get an added thrill from not a Breeders' Cup record performance, but a Santa Anita track record performance?
Well, it really hadn't hit me yet, but it's an incredible accomplishment, but it's really the horse. I mean, he's just an incredible horse. I mean, he's done things in the morning that you just don't believe. I mean, he's just a dream come true. You work all your life to have it work your life to hit a horse like this. Well, it was hard with Thoroughbred last year. I mean, but I wasn't disappointed in my horse. He ran a really good race. He didn't get the best trip in the world, as everybody knows. And to come and win this race, it's just incredible. It eases the pain a little bit. Now I'm trying to think, what am I going to do next year and keep these 2 horses apart? Couldn't have ended any better, you know. I mean, I knew he was going to run good today. Every time he runs, I know he's going to run good. But I never thought he would run this good. I never expected him to break a track record. I mean, you know, Julian rode the horse, and he had to go to California to ride Never Retreat. He was committed to ride Never Retreat, and you know, Mr. Fink and I talked about it, and we talked about who to get. I said, you know, I'd love to call Angel Cordero to see if Johnny would come ride the horse. And they came, they won the Clark on him, and Johnny, when he got off of him, he said, this is one of the best horses I've ever sat on. And I didn't know Johnny Velasquez very well at that time, and I thought, well, you know, he's just telling me that. Angel said, no, he's not telling you that. He means it. He said, we'd go to China to ride that horse. Wherever he goes, we're staying with him. And, you know, when Graham put Animal Kingdom in this race, I was a little bit concerned. Some people said, well, you're going to lose Johnny now. I called Angel. I said, Angel, they're saying I'm going to lose you. He said, I told you I'll go to China with you to ride this horse. He said, we're sticking with the horse. And the only reason he didn't ride him in the Shadwell, it was my fault, because I was going to train him right up to the Breeders' Cup. And then I got to thinking about it, and I talked to Mr. Fink, and they were already committed in New York. And that's what good agents and that's what good jockeys do. They stand behind their commitments.
It's very hard to put it in words, but when you're in the business for 40 years, and you know you can do everything right and have the best of everything, and then you get a bad trip and you lose. With this horse, it's almost, this is crazy to say, it's almost impossible to do that to him. As soon as he sees daylight, he's gone, and nobody will beat him. Nobody. It's only fair to give him a rest. He's done more than any horse could be expected to do. He's entitled to a rest. Charlie and I can't give enough credit to Charlie. Without Charlie, we wouldn't have this horse. Anyhow, Charlie and I both believe he's entitled to a rest, and that's what he's going to get. We haven't gone any farther than that. We know in this business, it's one race at a time, no long-range plan. I've been involved with, through Caroline Farm mostly, with buying expensive horses, breeding expensive horses. But in this case, I paid $29,000 for the mare, and I had a season in Wise Man's Ferry, who I was the managing partner when he ran, and I knew he was a good horse running, and not in breeding so far, as we all know. But whoever we've bred her to, the horse comes out looking like her, and they all run. She's had 3 stakes winners, I think 5 horses that earned over $150,000. This is from a $29,000 mare. And to give people, you got to be lucky. You can do things right, but you got to be lucky too.
Be careful.
Don't worry about it. I'm not going to say. What Frankel has
There's a man back here might...
What Frankel has accomplished, nobody could say anything negative about that. My God, it's a miracle what he's done. I'm not even going to think about how we do against Frankel. He's the best horse in the world. He's retired. We're never going to get a chance to run, so there's no point of thinking about that.
And let me add, anytime a horse, no matter where he runs, goes undefeated, that's a really good horse.